Good morning, my dear students of Standard 8. Here I am to take your chemistry class. Welcome back to the class. We are talking about atoms and molecules. Today, in this class, we will learn the evolution of atom and its structure. Dear students, do you know from where does the name atom come? This is the philosopher Democritus. At 400 BC, the Greek philosopher Democritus told that every matter is formed by tiny particles which cannot be further divided, and he gave the name of the tiny particles as atom. But there is a reason to give this name. Do you know what is this? A Greek word, atomos. Atomos means indivisible. Democritus took the name of atom from there because atom is also indivisible. But that time, other two scientists, Plato and Aristotle, stood against Democritus. These two scientists, Aristotle and Plato, they stood against Democritus. They opposed him because according to Aristotle, there is nothing that cannot be divided. But when at 803, English scientist John Dalton said that the smallest part of an element is an atom which cannot be divided any further, then the idea of Dalton got accepted and the idea of Aristotle and Plato was rejected. Dear student, did you remember the idea of John Dalton, who was called the father of chemistry? In 803, the English scientist John Dalton said that the smallest part of an element which cannot be divided further is called an atom, and his theory is called John Dalton's atomic theory. The theory is elements are made of tiny particles called atoms. All atoms of a given element are identical. The atoms of a given element are different from those of any other element. Atoms of one element can combine with atoms of other elements to form compounds. A given compound always has the same relative numbers and types of atoms. Atoms are indivisible in chemical processes. That is, atoms are not created or destroyed in chemical reactions. A chemical reaction simply changes the way the atoms are grouped together. You had learned this in your previous class. Did you remember this? This is Dalton's atomic theory. For a long time, this theory of John Dalton was approved by everyone. But the real fact is, atoms are not indivisible, and also it cannot be called the smallest particles of matter. Then what is atom? Actually, atoms cannot be divided, and after dividing, some tiny particles are formed. And the main three particles by which an atom is formed are electron, proton, and neutron, like this. When atom is divided, then proton, neutron, and electron are found. And proton and neutron, these two are combinedly called nucleus. It is the center of the atom. So, To remove the limitation of Dalton's theory, different scientists proposed the alternate models of atom. Out of these, the most accepted atomic models are the Rutherford and Bohr's atomic model. Today, in this class, we will learn about these two models. Rutherford's atomic model. This is the scientist Rutherford. Rutherford and his co-workers carried out an important experiment. The experiment is alpha particle scattering experiment. We will learn about this experiment in higher class. And at 1911, he gave the correct structure of the atom. Look, students, at 1803, John Dalton gave his momentous theory of atom. And for this long time, from 1803 to 1911, the idea of John Dalton was accepted by everyone. But at 1911, scientist Rutherford gave the correct structure of the atom, and it is called Rutherford's atomic model. By his theory, the atom is like this. It is not like that it cannot be divided. Atom is divisible, and after dividing atom, electron, proton and neutron, these are found. Where proton and neutron, these two reside at the center of the atom, and electrons, they move around the nucleus. That is, nucleus is proton and neutron. There is a positively charged center in an atom called the nucleus. Rutherford got this idea by this alpha particle scattering experiment. That is, there is a positively charged center in an atom called the nucleus. This nucleus, it is positively charged. Most of the mass and all the positive charges of an atom reside in the nucleus. The mass of proton and neutron, it is very more compared to electron. The mass of electron is negligible. So here, most of the mass, that means proton and neutron, they reside at the center of the atom. And all the positive charge. Proton is positive in charge. So all the positive charge, it also present in the nucleus. Most of the space in an atom is empty. Here in the center there is nucleus, and electron, it moves around the nucleus. But most of the space between nucleus and electron, this space is empty. The negatively charged electrons that has negligible mass revolve around the nucleus as the planets move around the sun. Here, Rutherford told that electrons, it move around the nucleus. How? Same as planets move around the sun in solar system. So here, Rutherford compared his atomic model with solar system, because Rutherford compared nucleus with sun and electrons with planets. The size of the nucleus is very small as compared to the size of the atom. The full atom, it is comparatively more bigger than the nucleus. But this model has also some limitations. Rutherford proposed his model at 1911, but this model is not fully correct. There are also some limitations. What are these limitations? Although the Rutherford's atomic model was based on experimental observations. Experimental observations means Rutherford gave his model by doing an experiment alpha particle scattering experiment. So it was given on the basis of experimental observations, but it failed to explain certain things. What are these things? Rutherford's atomic model has been compared with the solar system. You saw this. But the rotating electrons are negatively charged and repel each other. Look, in Rutherford's model, nucleus, it is positively charged, and electron, it is negatively charged. Isn't it? But in solar system, sun and planets, they are neutral, they are chargeless. And when electrons are moving around the nucleus, then all the negatively charged electrons are together, so they repel each other. And also there is an attraction force between nucleus and electrons, because positively charged and negatively charged particles, there must be an attraction force, while the rotating planets and sun are neutral. So how this comparison is possible? Here planets and sun, they are neutral, so there is no attraction or repel each other. But here electrons, these are negatively charged, and nucleus, it is positively charged. So there is an attraction force between them. So here comparison of his model with solar system is not correct. This is the first limitation of Rutherford's atomic model, that Rutherford compared his model with solar system, but the comparison is not correct. One of the limitations of Rutherford's model was also that he did not say anything about the arrangement of electrons in an atom, which made his theory incomplete. Dear students, look, for hydrogen, there is only one electron. For helium, there are only two electrons. So these electrons can move around the nucleus. But for the atoms which have more electrons, then how these electrons move around the nucleus? Rutherford did not give any correct idea about this. So it is also a great limitation of Rutherford's atomic model. Now, these limitations were corrected by another scientist, Niels Bohr. And Niels Bohr at 1913 gave another model. This model is called Bohr's atomic model. In 1913, Niels Bohr proposed his famous atom model, and the main postulates of Bohr's atomic model are, this is the Bohr's model. Look here, this is positively charged nucleus, and electrons are moving not in one orbit. Electrons are moving in some circular orbits. That means Bohr gave the correction of Rutherford's atomic model. So Bohr's model is accepted by everyone, because Bohr's model, it is the corrected form of Rutherford's atomic model. According to Bohr's theory, electrons revolve in definite circular orbits, not only in one orbit, around the nucleus, and these orbits are designated by the letters K, L, M, N, or by the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Look, here around the nucleus, electrons are moving in some circular orbits, and these orbits have some name. The first orbit, it is called K shell, capital K. The second orbit, it is called L shell, M shell, N shell, O shell, and so on. In this way, Bohr told that electrons are moving around the nucleus, but they are moving in some definite circular orbits. But Rutherford did not give any idea of these orbits. And also Bohr here used Planck's theory in his model. Look here. Here he used the quantum theory of Planck's in his model. Here this is comparatively correct model, that is called Bohr's atomic model. In Rutherford's atomic model, there were some limitations. Bohr's gave the correction of Rutherford's atomic model. So Bohr's model is accepted by everyone, and comparatively Bohr's model is more correct than Rutherford's atomic model. Look, dear students, in Bohr's model also there are some limitations, but in this junior class we will not this limitation. In higher classes we will read again Rutherford's model and Bohr's model, and that time we will learn some more. So dear students, today we had learned many new things. So goodbye everyone. Thank you to all.